Hello.
Yep.
It came. Okay. So just let's just talk about the
Wait, should we do an intro
US.
or what do you want? What do you want to do, Daniel?
Hold on, let me come back over. Yeah, I think we should do a little a quick a quick hot take on our one sentence predictions for the 2030 World Cup. First of all, everybody gets one sentence to wow the world, and then I think we go into a little dissection of what happened in the round of 16. We give some predictions for the quarterfinals, and then maybe we even start before our 1 second or our one sentence. We give you get like you get two sentences on what's your soccer background or why are you relevant in the world of soccer
Okay.
with your
So
name.
you want to start off with the one sentence 2030 hot take, or do you want to end with it?
I want to start with it.
Okay.
Low network
Start
bandwidth.
with like, okay, hey, I'm Mateo Spitzberg. Here's my give me
2030
your
hot.
background, and then here's my hot take, and then blast it.
Okay. So hi, my name is Mateo Spitzberg. I am Argentinian, and I've been I loosely followed soccer for in the 2018 World Cup, but I've heavily followed Argentina for the past 4 years. Well, really for the past 6 years. So it's been a lot of fun just following them. And my one word hot take is that Senegal will reach the semifinals next year.
I love it.
Okay, I'm gonna
David, what do
give
you got for us, Mr. Spitz?
David.
I am the Spitz-O-Matic, the author and YouTuber of the Spitz-O-Matic soccer song, which will feature our next person. Oh, and actually features the person we just had. I love soccer, and my wife is the one who introduced me to soccer, and those are my qualifications for what I'm about to tell you.
Hot
I
take.
believe, I believe that Canada will reach the quarterfinals in the next World Cup in Spain, Argentina, Uruguay, and Morocco,
And Paraguay.
and Paraguay,
And Portugal, I'm pretty sure.
and Portugal.
My name is Daniel Haverkos. I am 11 days younger than one Mr. Tim Howard, who we were rival goalkeepers growing up on the East Coast. And I have watched 7,920 minutes of World Cup soccer going into the quarterfinals. So I feel deeply committed to all that is Copa Mundial. And my hot take for 2030 in Spain, Morocco, and Portugal is that the Dutch win after 100 years of trying. Okay, let's dissect the last round.
Okay, so last round, let's just start off with the one that hits close to home. Well, I guess just on home, I guess. Uh, the USA Belgium game. I would like to hear you two first because you two. I mean, even if I know that you've been following U.S. soccer for a little bit. I know that you've been also following U.S. soccer, maybe a bit more loosely than he has, but like you've also been following U.S. soccer for a little bit.
You want to go first, Daniel, or you want my take?
Your take is good, man. I'm ready.
Okay, we didn't record it, but the last time we got together, you said it was either Mateo's kids
No, my during my lifespan, I'll never.
during Mateo's lifespan, he will never see the U.S. men's reach a semifinal. And I think that maybe the team heard what you said because they just wanted to confirm that truth in the way they performed. It was embarrassing. The junk about the red card, which I thought was really good, and then turns really icky. Um, I think we poked the bear and we poked the wrong bear with the reversal of the red card, and I think maybe it would have been better if we just sucked it up and didn't have flow, because maybe the other players would have showed up.
Yeah.
I think yeah, Mateo's grandkids might be able to see the U.S. in a World Cup semifinal, and I think it's sad. And I think it goes. I know that you don't like watching MLS, but I think all these Premier League snobs that don't go to soccer games, that just turn on NBC on Saturday mornings, I think it's their fault. Stop complaining about Alexi Lawless as a horrible commentator and start going to MLS games. Start supporting USL Championship. Mateo has a totally different take on what the problem is, but money talks. Let's get more eyeballs on MLS and USL Championship in the next 8 years, and maybe something can change. But I think it was a horrible display. I think it showed weakness. I don't think it's Pochettino's fault, really. I think that we're not there, and that flag was waved really, really high. We are nowhere near ready for the biggest stage in the World Cup.
Yeah, I unfortunately agree on many levels. I think this is not the space to dive into all the problems of like youth soccer all the way up to the highest levels in the US. But I think your comment about more eyeballs, that's like saying that, no offense to Canada, but we need more eyeballs on Canadian football, like American football in Canada, to really improve Canadian Football League. I think we're second rate, and until we change things from the bottom up in the US, and that really drives back to like what gets shown on ESPN in terms of what motivates kids in our nation to want to put a soccer ball in their foot versus a basketball or a football in their hands. And we're the best in the world at basketball and football, American football. So that takes away our best athletes. Anyways, I think there were a couple of moments in the match against Belgium that were very disheartening to me. There was a look that Christian Pulisic gave as he was coming off the field when he was getting subbed out that I think summed up a lot of it, is that like we're not there yet. We don't belong at this level. We can't do it tactically. We can't do it technically. And we got a lot of work to do to be able to actually compete and scare any of these teams that are really in the top 10 and the upper echelon of world powers in soccer. There were probably 3 or 4 moments. There was a ball that Adams hit in the second half, a great ball, like a kind of a diagonal ball into the box. I can't remember whoever subbed in for Pulisic, but he ran onto it, and his first touch just let him down. There was a couple of times Jedi had a first touch that let him down. There were a couple. Dest did not play his best, although I love Dest. But on the ball, like being able to make touches that will lead us to chances, not that final touch or the setup for the final touch, but literally the touches before that we were lacking in. And I think that's a little bit of like we can't handle the pressure at the highest level, but I think B, that is just a fundamental, we're not as good technically as the best players and the best teams in the world, and it showed against Belgium, unfortunately.
Yeah, just one last thing. I 100% agree with you guys that we won't see the U.S. get to the semifinals. And yes, like people might bring up like the Germany's like rebuilding of their entire system from the ground up, like you wanted, Daniel, of just like rebuilding everything, like making the Bundesliga 2 more accessible, like making everything better. And that was done in 10 years. But I feel like you also touched on this. Like what kids want to play, I feel like you would have had to go to the quarterfinals and like actually like do something productive in the quarterfinals to like win over like the kids. You're gonna have some inspiring stories, but if you had made it to the quarterfinals and you were competitive, then those kids would actually consistently pick up a soccer ball. Then it's just like this week they're playing soccer, and then they're just gonna get back on the football grind, and it's just like it really is disappointing because we know that the USA won't invest inside of any of this.
Yeah. And hopefully maybe just to play a little bit of the other side of that coin, we are 32 years removed from the 94 World Cup, and soccer has come a long way in the U.S. With the creation and evolution of MLS. But David, to the point that, you and I that I've made to you and we've talked about before, I think the MLS still has a long way to go. When we spend all these millions of dollars to bring in the best players of the world that are towards the back end of their career, we've done that in the U.S. for 50 years, going back to like a Pele and like other players. That's not what we need. We need players that are actually in their prime and can play level. On that note, though, what Messi has shown in this World Cup does raise the level, in my mind, of what he's doing in the MLS still in the competition that he's playing against.
I did read an interesting article on ESPN just to counter that argument a little bit that said that when Messi was at PSG, he couldn't compete in Champions League. That maybe it was the team that he had, but that he's not at the level, and that we might, well, we're going to get into our predictions soon, but we might see that against Switzerland. But if you don't see that against Switzerland, you're going to definitely see that against England.
Well, okay, just to say something against that. If Messi is struggling inside the Champions League, the whole entire team, for some reason, and I don't know what kind of coaching miracle / disaster happened there, that you have a team with Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi, and you can't win a Champions League. But like, clearly the coach didn't know what he was doing, like, specifically. I feel like if you have a coach who like knows how to handle those three players and have them all in the system together, then maybe you have a chance for them to actually win a Champions League. But I feel like it's a bit on the coach because he wasn't able to win a Champions League. Even if Messi's playing bad, you still have Mbappe and Neymar, and you just have all these great players on your team, you still can't win.
I think that's a good point too. Like this is just one take from an article, but I like your counter argument that like I can't just take this guy's word, but the proof will be in the pudding in these next couple of games.
Yeah. So let's go back there. So Belgium moves on from the U.S. Let's go to a couple other games.
So far, I would say it's a huge surprise for me that Colombia is out round 16.
Mm-hmm.
There was.
How about for you?
I never believed in them.
Wait, just for the record, just because nobody else, if this does go out somewhere, our podcasting founder, Mr. Haverkos, said that Colombia is the best team from South America. Most complete. Thank you.
Thank you.
You always have your uncle's back. Most complete team from South America, from front to back. Maybe from back to the middle, but it seems like the attacking third might have used a little bit of love yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'll just point to Messi. Messi is a hero of men and women.
Yeah. So I would just it's shocking to me that they weren't able to make some of those chances. Your boy Campas, the guy who you said we're gonna.
I know.
He's one. He's also. You say you didn't know anything about him. The commentators talk about him a little bit, and from what I heard, he's like this like super experienced guy, who like while he doesn't have like the preferred build of everyone, he's still just like a great player who sees the play so well, and he had like a huge opportunity that was missed, and I just feel like Colombia deserved to go. So Colombia deserved to leave the World Cup because of the chances that they missed. But I don't think that Switzerland deserved to move on from that round because of the chances that they gave up.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, I love Colombia. I really felt like I thought they could take it all the way to the finals, and my guy in particular, they just didn't capitalize on their chances, and they lost to a Swiss team that fights and claws and plays tough D. I mean, the commentator at one point in the match made a reference to like this is a American football equivalent of like the 2000 Ravens versus the 85 Bears, which I thought was like a great line. But both of those teams do have some like offensive firepower. They just it got mitigated by some great defensive efforts and some missed obvious chances.
Yeah. Okay, and then let's move on to the game that we both loved. Argentina, Egypt. You go first because you're more of a neutral player because I have a lot to say about this.
Sure.
What do you think about the calls that like some people are calling controversial?
Yeah, I mean, I will speak for the world in that was a terrible use of VAR. Uh, that now is going to open up in my mind, unless FIFA comes in and says like we have to have some kind of limitation on how far somebody can look back. If it's not a red card or a goal scoring chance, we can't go back 110 yards and call like I stepped on your shoelace foul against Egypt, which then negates literally one of, I would contend, a goal that was rivaling the Maradona dribble the team goal and finish from Egypt that would have put them up 2-0 at that point. And they scored another, goal that counted to get them to 2-0. So that would have put them up 3-0 at that point, and that would have put Argentina under at that point. Egypt outplayed them. Egypt deserved to win. Messi is a godlike human.
Okay, so just to counter that point, there is a rule inside of the FIFA rulebook, which I mean, you could find so many counteraction. Like there are so many hypocrisies inside of there. But I think that this is a clear rule. This is what the rules analyst for Fox said. He said that if it's a clear and obvious, like it's not like 50 yards back, it's not 60 yards back. It's at the start of a goal attacking sequence. If there's a foul at the start of an attacking sequence, they can go back and review it. And since that was the turnover on the ball, that is the start of the attacking sequence.
And then we would just point to Salah, the foul that happened on Salah. They could have gone back. That would have negated Argentina's next goal.
So, but the difference there is that
Messi is God.
No.
Sorry.
Is that the Egyptian player steps on Lisandro Martinez's foot without touching the ball. Julian Alvarez steps in, gets the ball behind Salah's leg, and then steps on him. And it's incidental, just like a colliding of two players from the momentum.
Okay. Again, 107-yard dribble masterpiece is taken away because of the unintended use of VAR. So I really hope that FIFA figures it out moving forward.
Okay, let's just agree to disagree there. Let's just go with this here. Something else, and then just like anything to say about like Argentina's comeback, like apart from Messi's God, like anything else to say, like anything that you saw like differently tactically during that time, or just like was it just like a focus change? You think?
I mean, there was a moment where Messi, I think I sent you guys this picture maybe after the match, but like Messi, came through and played a good ball and nothing happened out of it. And he kind of ended up like over the end line, facing back to the field, laying down on the field, kind of chest down, face up, and you could just see the little messy eyes. And it was kind of like this moment of like, man, are we not going to be able to get this done? Are we done? I've missed a PK. We've missed a couple chances here. This team is actually outplaying us. Have we, just we went in a toe-to-toe heavyweight battle against a 525,000 populated nation in Cape Verde. Maybe Africa is just finally going to get the better of us. And then, Messi assists, Messi scores a brilliant goal. Like I think I also sent you guys that reference to like Hamilton. Like I just couldn't seem to die. Like Messi will not go away. And I love him. There is no player on the planet that I love more than him. I think what he's shown us in this entire tournament, but certainly as we've continued to advance in the knockout round, is like the guy is a magician. He is otherworldly.
Yeah. He also, so with the assist that he got, he's now tied with Mbappe for assists, and is ahead of Mbappe with the goal. So he pretty much has 2 goals in hand for the Golden Boot race. We'll talk about maybe we'll get to that at a later point, but I would just like to say like for all the people who don't like the hydration break, I feel like every Argentine fan has to acquaint that win to that. I mean, Leonel Scaloni, he's a tactical genius. You can't bring your team back to back to back trophies without being like a really good guy who can rile the team together. And you saw that. You saw like how he played it so well. And a change that I thought was interesting right before the hydration break, right before the second goal that counted was he put it instead of taking out Julian Alvarez and putting in Lautaro Martinez, he actually puts and putting in Lautaro Martinez. He actually takes out the Paul and puts in Lautaro Martinez. And it's a very rare thing that we see because usually Argentina plays this 4-3-3 formation that you see now of them, and like it's usually Alvarez or Martinez as the striker. But today they were playing like this 4-1-3-2. And I think they finally just like did like a 4-3-1-2 with Messi as just like a loose one. But like really it was a 4-3-2 Messi. Where Messi is just like walking and then clicks a little button on his back that activates his superpowers.
Yeah.
And he just, and I think that was a change that was needed. It brought some huge pressure on the team, and it was just such a good play, and it was so smart by Scaloni. He knew what he needed to do, and he got the result that was needed. Anything from you, Father?
So I was not able to watch the game just with work, but I was able to watch the last goal, and I just think that's the Argentina that needs to show up on Saturday night. So I mean, you saw the whole game, so I don't really have a good feel of everything. But can we go into predictions for Argentina Switzerland, or do you want to talk more about? Do you want
let's hold that for a second. First of all, like you need to quit your job if you couldn't not be watching that match. So yeah, that's no good. Let's go to let's keep going now. Let's keep going around the horn. And we can kind of just go reverse order for working kind of like, 5 o'clock around the clock, counterclockwise.
So Colombia, we did Argentina.
So you want to go to the England-Mexico match?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm.
Woo!
I know that you're a bit heated about this. I'm going to let you take over for the start here.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like what I had said to you guys and my like premonition of like England's going to score first, maybe even go up 2. And then there's some drunk old guy in a bar in London who's going to have his head in his hands and be distraught about how Mexico came back and stole what was rightfully England's. And that was all playing itself out, except for Harry Kane and Bellingham are phenomenal competitors. And the Mexican wings, I don't know the 2 guys that were out on both wings, but specifically the right. Yeah, the right winger. Like, I mean, they had 49 flank service balls over the course of that match, and I mean, a couple of those balls were good balls, and they didn't do with them what they could have. But like, A, England is stronger than you in the air. B, goalkeeper Pickford. Mm-hmm. Just played out of his mind. I mean, the 2 saves that he made in the first half before he really got into all the action, to me, like really propelled them to be able to do what they did. And then he just was like a brick wall in the second half. But I got to put a lot of the blame and the onus onto Mexican coaching, but also Mexican wing play, where you are a better team in my mind of creating kind of through the center, maybe playing into like a forward with his back to the goal and laying the ball off and hitting shots and following or through balls kind of through the middle. But England let you serve and serve and serve again, and you couldn't get it done.
So I said this to him on the 80th minute. I said that they need to just start running around here, take advantage of there only being 10 men, and you being inside of the altitude.
Mm-hmm.
Just run back and forth, make a ton of runs, make them guard you. And they didn't do that. They just stood in the middle. A lot of what ifs for the Mexico side, who really showed out for that game. I love the crowd there. I love just the scenes from there. It was so beautiful. But like a lot of what ifs. What if the keeper properly timed his run out and beat Anthony Gordon to the ball?
Mm-hmm.
What if those 2 miracle saves didn't happen? It really was. I think really was Mexico's loss, but I also think it was very much. It wasn't England's win, but it was Pickford's win.
Mm. Yeah, I think it was an incredible team effort, though, from England. I mean, I despise England. Every time they play, I hope the stadium collapses on them in the kindest, most loving Jesus way possible. But
yeah,
I just don't like them at all. But that was to go into the cauldron and to do what they did is phenomenal. David, what do you got?
I thought that game was right up there with the Argentina Cape Verde game. Just as like you really did not necessarily know what was going to happen. But I feel like that game and the Argentina Cape Verde game really kind of encapsulates just the joy of the game that we love, and this tournament of just like a lot of the news has been bringing people together, and like different nation fans still getting along, taking pictures together, and the way that you can be so competitive and yet just at the end of the day just be ready to maybe because I think the goalkeeper for Cape Verde might be on Inter Miami with Messi. Like these types of stories just are so compelling.
Yeah.
I thought the Mexican England game was just, I haven't, because of my job that you want me to quit, I haven't really had a lot of full matches, and I just loved it was just so much fun just to get all of that.
Yeah. That's good. And I mean, we saw at the 5 stadiums that we went to, New York, Philly, Seattle, Vancouver, and San Francisco, like the fan camaraderie before the match, during the match, at hotels after the match. Like, I mean, I heard a story about Mexican and English fans just encouraging each other after the match, which, you hear all the horror stories of playing in Azteca and kind of what the fans become. To hear that was really heartwarming.
So let's move on to the game. I'm having a hard time backtracking here.
Yeah, and one more comment about England. Josiah now has a. Okay. Josiah has a long sleeve red England Jude Bellingham jersey to be arriving in about a week, and I will wholeheartedly wear my Harry Kane next to his Bellingham and just celebrate what England has done so far, and how far can they take this thing.
Yeah, it's really good. So backtracking here, I forget the second game that day.
So is Brazil?
Oh, Brazil, Norway. Yep.
Brazil, Norway. Yep. What do you got there?
What I got there, Norway were the better team. I feel like people could have seen that coming if they watched both teams. If you looked at the scouting report, this isn't what I thought about it before it, as well as a non-Euro watcher or really qualifier watcher. That it's just Holland. I didn't know they had Sorloth, Odegaard. I mean, those guys really showed up. But I feel like the story, of course, it's Holland scoring 2 goals. But it's also the coach. It's the coach making those 2 subs, subbing off. I'm pretty Sorloth and the other winger, who were both performing really well. But then the guy who comes in assists the 2 goals. and it was just a beautiful, just showing by this Norwegian team. But I also think that it is easily Brazil's loss. They missed the penalty, the Emerson easy goal that he should have made. And it just really does show, like, I think that this Brazil team has a future. But I think it's gonna be a rough 2 years here. Don't think the Copa America is gonna be that good for them either. So I think it's gonna be a rough 2 years for this Brazil team.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I had made the comment earlier that I just think Brazil's defense is going to show itself. And, in the first match in group play, they tie Morocco. And I love Morocco. I think Morocco has even more to show us in this tournament. But to give up a goal first to Morocco, to be able to kind of claw back and tie that match. But you've shown us that you do have the offensive firepower to, if you're on, you can compete with anybody, but that's only going to take you so far. And, Norway is a good team. Norway has some good quality, not just in Holland, but I think multiple players that are impressive. But to me, I agree. I think Brazil, this was showing areas of their weakness that if they don't figure out, it's not the 90s anymore. You can't just rely on we're going to out flash you, out dribble you, out confidence you to our way to a victory. You actually need to play. Not, and that's, they have good defenders. They have good individual players that play, defensively. They just don't have a mentality that warrants the lockdown kind of attitude you need at this level to be able to advance as far as you should. And we've seen that in the last now 3 World Cups from them, 4 World Cups from them.
So yeah.
Just leave it on you.
I agree. So I feel like we gotta get this done quick because I have.
Yeah, keep going.
So we've already talked about USA, Belgium. So then Portugal, Spain. I think this is just your prototypical Spain game. Take advantage of possession, get good quality chances, and then eventually just score. It's just a good quality, like what we've seen from them when they're winning. Just win possession. If they don't have the ball, they can score on you. It's that kind of philosophy.
Are you guys terrified at this point about me winning the ultimate wager of who's going to win this thing?
I mean, let's.
Ain't no way Spain's gonna win.
No, I do think there's a chance, but like it is like really. I think it's gonna be interesting to see who else is gonna like. Because Lamine Yamal, as much as I've been defending him at my camp, he still isn't. He still has not performed well at this World Cup yet. He attracts 2 defenders, and I feel like that's around all he does so far. He scored a goal, but it was against the Saudi Arabia team. I think it's going to be really interesting to see here. Who do you think, like, if they can, like, do this possession kind of, like, keep the ball, pass it around, and just wait for a chance against France, against, where do they play? Maybe
Morocco.
No. I think that Belgium is going to be easier for them, but like I feel like Spain. I feel like Spain versus France, it's either going to be a wake-up call for Spain or it's going to be a wake-up call for the world that this Spain team is legit.
Yeah. I mean, I would be worried if I was Spain about playing France, but France has come to the end of their run. Let's go to the next match.
Okay.
Yeah, just like Colombia, they're the best team from South America.
We shall see. We shall see.
So let's just next match.
Morocco, Canada.
Morocco, Canada. We talked about this a bit last time since we couldn't call the day. I completely agree with what you've said, and I've actually told to people afterwards, talking about your France position, which I agree with. That we'll get to later. Morocco played its worst 45 minutes of this entire World Cup, and Canada played its best, and it was 0-0 at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all you have to know about this keeper and this defense and how they can recover. And then it was 3-0 at the end of the game. You take
Yeah.
I mean, I think that is one thing that's been cool about these conversations is really, Daniel, how we steal what you say and use it in other conversations. But that is a great take. But I mean, Canada is nothing compare. I mean, that's.
I mean,
I
like,
don't even have an analogy of comparing Canada to France.
But like
Morocco is not beating France. There's no way.
Can I stop you right now? Can I stop you right there real quick before we get into this deeper? Canada, while they aren't, they're nowhere near France. They still are a pretty good team.
Sure. Yeah.
Wait,
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt you.
No.
Sorry, Alphonso Davies was not on the field.
Sure. That would make a difference, some difference.
Yeah, that would have made a difference, yes. And I think they would have scored a goal. But I don't think that Canada's still a good team, and soccer has 11 players, not one. So you just have to think here. You played against a solid team, and you played your objectively worst soccer of probably these last 2 World Cups.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't give up a goal. I think that instills confidence in you, but it also gives you, and I like it when teams like this either win or have a close game and tie. That you did not play good, and you felt it in you when you were playing, and you still won, but you know that at practice you're going to have to try 10 times harder.
Yeah. Let's go to France. Let's hear. I mean, France is your pick, David, to win it all. Let's hear how you feel like they played in this last match.
They played
Paraguay.
Right. Okay. So yeah. So a little bit of not necessarily their best. What was it? 60 minutes.
Yeah, 60
before
minutes
the first goal, but they have so many weapons, and they seem to be well coached, and I just think that the depth and they're firing on all cylinders where Spain is not, and I think that sure maybe it'll go to extra time with Morocco, but I just feel like your players 12 through 17 on France are just light years ahead of 12 through 17 on Morocco, and that's probably where the game's going to be won. Is just like in an NBA championship, sometimes the bench players are the ones who are going to take you over that game 7 to get you to win, like make a 3-point at the very end, or having enough stamina at the end of a game to do a penalty kick. I think Paraguay was tough. But France has not struggled out of any of the teams that are still left. They're the ones that have looked more dominant, and they don't seem content, which is something I found interesting. Mbappe's kind of just being trolling, because I think they know they won already 8 years ago, that this is not new to them. They know that game is not beating Paraguay is not the goal, right? They're not content until July 19th at MetLife, where they are going to be crowned champion, and I get my Dembele jersey,
which will immediately make you burn.
They're not playing. They're not going to play Argentina. I don't think Argentina's.
Let's say the Argentina takes for later.
Don't go too far, but that will break up a happy home. We could really be in some hot water here. What was the final score of the Paraguay match?
3-0, I think.
No, France Paraguay, that was 1-0.
Was it
1-0?
Yeah.
Paraguay is like a poor man's version of Morocco from a defensive standpoint. Morocco, the win actually, because of just who the French are, this could be a multiple goal win for Morocco in a bit of an embarrassing way for France. I'm putting it on record right now. what Hakimi has done at PSG to captain that team and create a world champion, he is doing that same thing with lesser players, with his own national compadres, and he's creating a masterpiece in the nation that I believe could act. These two could go hand in hand, and that's an outrageous thought. I think they're that good. World Cup.
I do not 100%. I do not 100% disagree with you on that one. I do think that Morocco. Now, the one thing about like how are you talking about how France plays? Uh, it's like even if let's say I'm guessing if they're gonna win by multiple goals, you're predicting that they will score early, right?
I don't have that thought. I just think as it gets towards the end of the game, France will get more and more irritated. And they showed that against Paraguay. And Paraguay put up a good battle, but Paraguay just literally parks multiple buses in front of the goal. Morocco plays soccer and can defend at all, 10 spots on the field. That's going to just France is going to remind themselves, we have so much firepower. Our second line should be able to score multiple goals against anybody in the world, and Morocco is going to shut you down repeatedly, and it's going to bother them to the point they're going to get careless. They're going to give up a couple of counterattacks, and Morocco is going to ping the ball around, and actually they will own stretches of the game that France has not experienced yet, and it will irritate the crud out of Los French. Francais.
Yeah, I actually I like that. I like that take actually.
All right, where do you want to go next? You want to go back
one-
down around the clock?
Oh, one last thing about the game. Did you see the referee count? Like even me as an Argentinian, I think it's a little bit fishy.
What was it? I missed that part.
The referees. Did you see them for the game? I can Papa, can you pull up an image of it?
No.
No.
I will, and I'm going to put this up just to make sure everybody knows.
Yeah.
Kudos to Henri. I love you. I love what you've done for soccer.
Yeah.
I love France as a fire powerhouse.
So my dad's bringing the phone. I didn't believe this. I'm gonna save it as a surprise. But let me tell you this. I 100% thought that this was AI the first time I saw this, and you probably will too. But I promise you, there are enough people reporting about it that I think it's real.
Okay.
He's coming down with it.
What
Yeah.
is it?
France versus Morocco referee's image. I want you to look at this picture, and I think I'm going to see a ton of shock on your face. I don't know if you can see it here.
Argentina, 5 Argentinians.
5 Argentinian referees.
Yeah, I just feel like I haven't watched enough to see when they put that up, like what nations are represented in the different 5 slots. But it's all been mix and match to me. It's never been.
It's the first time ever that they've had all of them the same nation.
Is that just like a random coincidence that like Argentina? Oh, okay.
That might be something we could talk about next time. Is like how did they choose the referees for each match?
Yeah, but it's a bit even to me as like an Argentinian who really wants to see France get eliminated.
I bet you know what, this is just a guess, but they might have that predetermined before the tournament starts. Because I guess that's what predetermined means. But because they knew that side of the bracket, Argentina wasn't going to be there.
Yeah, so we'll see. I'll keep an eye on it to see what they come up with.
Just like I think it's just something to look out for. Just like the calls, even to me, I told you this, I didn't tell you this. The first time I saw that, I thought it was AI. I 100% thought it was AI generated, that they just randomly put that out. But it isn't. I think it is a bit weird. But also, I mean, I think you're also a bit right there.
Well,
So
and
yeah,
if you
let's go.
really, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Let's just. Oh yeah, you want to say something about this, and then
Yeah,
let's just go on this.
quickly. Like, if we really think about this, though, like, I would assume that most referee groups are like that is their squad. Like, I count on the guy in my ear from VAR.
Yeah.
I count on my linesmen. We work together as a team. So in reality, while it's cool when we see like, oh, I've got all these different nations represented in my 5 referee slots, the reality is probably like they probably don't do that. They don't work together all the time
Yeah.
as an Argentinian crew would or whatever nation
Yeah.
would. So I'll look at that more just out of curiosity. Let's go around the horn the other way now. So we all agree that Morocco's going to beat France. Now, what's the next match?
Yeah. I'm gonna let's just do our score predictions real quick. 2-1 Morocco, late penalty, kind of like the Brazil game. Late penalty that means absolutely nothing. But it's cool that Mbappe gets another goal to tie Messi in the Golden Boot.
Just to clarify, you said Morocco 2,
France won.
France 1, but
Yeah.
Morocco up 2 most of the game, and then they get a like cheapie in the end.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that prediction, dude. Fantastic. You're learning. The Padawan, you're learning. David, what do you got? France 10
4-1.
nothing.
4-1 France.
4-1.
4-1 against Bono.
Morocco hasn't given up 4 goals in 100 years.
Yep. Well, now they're
All
going
right.
to give up. They're going to give it up in 90 minutes.
Okay. I'm gonna go 3-1 Morocco. Let's move on.
Yeah. Okay. Spain, Belgium. This should be a quick one. I think we can all agree here that we think that Spain is better than Belgium. What they showed against us against the U.S. They showed they were a dominant team, but I don't think that they're dominant enough against the Spain team. That I think is just gonna pass the ball around them, and it's just gonna be so annoying for them. I think it's another 1-0, 1-0, maybe 2-0 game for Spain.
Okay.
3-1 Spain.
Okay. Yeah,
That's
I think
my
1-0. I actually think Courtois is gonna like play out of his mind. I think that they've got Belgium has not shown us much. I mean, they just crushed the U.S., but I think many Belgium fans would say we can do more, we can do better. You're up against the best team in the world in reality. Maybe even better top to bottom than Colombia in Spain. All right, let's move forward.
Yeah.
Quite possibly, maybe. We don't know though. We don't know about that.
We'll never know. We'll never
Yeah,
know.
they will never play against each other.
Campas, why?
Okay. Next one. We've got England versus Norway. That is Saturday.
Mhm.
One thing to be said, just really off topic here. I do not like how they have one game Saturday, one game Thursday, one game Friday, one game Saturday, and then another game Saturday. I feel like it's so dumb. Just evenly spread them out and then push a semifinal. Have like Tuesday and then Thursday for the semifinal. That's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, you got to keep the semifinals close. They have to be.
Right, because they're.
In reality, it'd almost be better if you had the semifinals on the same day,
Yeah.
because you should have the same rest going into the finals. But that's fine. So what's your take there? England, Norway.
England, Norway. I don't want to do 2-1 again, but I think that's actually this one. But I'll say 3-2. Holland with 2, and then Sorloth with a goal. Oh, no, actually Odegaard with a goal as well. 3-2 Norway.
Wow. Okay. David?
1-0 Holland in the 118th minute. England's going home.
Wow.
Coming home.
Yeah, I've love. It's been fun to cheer for Norway, and I think they've shown us a ton. Holland had an interview after the last match, and he said, there are 200 Brazilians cheering for their team, and there's no pressure on us because we have 5.5 million people cheering for us, and that just puts so much perspective on kind of what Norway is able to produce in terms of athletes in so many different sports and venues. But I actually think England wins this one like fairly easily, like 2-0.
It's gonna be one last comment on this. I'm not mad at that, but I actually am because I don't like England. But I think it's gonna be. I think it really is gonna come down to the keepers. My prediction is 3-2, but I think it's gonna be like the three that Sobir gave up against Argentina. Just three great goals.
Mm-hmm.
And same with Debu. It's gonna be like a similar 3-2, just because these are like I would say the two hottest keepers going into this round. Pickford
Yeah,
and
yeah.
because that Norwegian and Pickford those two goalkeepers had some of the best performances we've seen in a little bit.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. Okay, and then back down to the bottom right on the grid.
Argentina, Switzerland. You have an upsetting take about Argentina, so to let myself calm down and not tell my mom about this, once you get upstairs, I'm gonna have you go first so that I can save your life.
Yeah, 2-1 Switzerland. The magic is over. Messi is amazing. He does score that one goal, but Argentina has been almost beat by mediocre teams, and I think that Switzerland has their number now, and it's going to be a Norway-Switzerland semi. And I think it's going to be sad. I think our house is going to be sad. But I think that the two wins that Argentina has gotten has just been so great that nobody's ever going to complain about losing to Switzerland because of what we've gotten so far.
Well, I mean, Argentinians will always find a way to complain, so let's not kid ourselves there. I think that, and first of all, let's never refer to Cape Verde as mediocre. That is one of the best teams with a level of confidence that makes no sense, and yet, like, those guys are selling ice cream now. They're back at home selling ice cream, and they just went toe to toe with the best in the world, and they should have beat them. I think Argentina is just incredible, and it's just hard for me at this point now to say they lose to Switzerland. I don't see it. I think Argentina wins 3-1 is my take.
Well, if it's hard for you to say, it's impossible for me to say. It's. I thought I said this last time, and I think it might be a little bit of a curse on myself, but I'm going to say it again just because the curse didn't really work. We won 3-2. But I said that the Egypt game was going to be like the Croatia game that we had. That was more like after, like, I feel like the Cape Verde game, if you're to draw it to anything, it would be more like the Netherlands game. But like to us, it has to be like the Australia game, like a game that we should have won, that we made mistakes. We were close to losing, but we pulled it out. And then that Egypt game is one that was so up in the air, and then we ended up pulling it out. We did it miraculously. We did it while people hated us, and the coach accused FIFA of rigging it, which are actually two correlations. And then we're just gonna bounce back. Messi's gonna have, I think, another goal. I think I agree with you. Argentina 3-1, but not in like a 2-1 97th minute goal go ahead, but like 3-1, like two quick goals. Switzerland respond like early in the second half. Everyone thinks that Switzerland's back in it. Then 60th minute goal from Messi to just
seal the deal.
Shut the door. Yeah.
Okay.
And
That's
then
good.
Messi's finally able to get some rest. He comes out like hopefully the 80th minute.
That would be nice and well deserved at this point. Okay. And we still stand by our champion picks at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's still alive. All three of us.
Can I just say one more thing? This is a bit more broad picture. If Argentina go into the final, and Messi scores a goal inside of each of the next 3 rounds, Messi would have more goals this tournament than Ronaldo has his entire this World Cup tournament than Ronaldo has his entire World Cup career.
Wow, that's incredible. And I feel like very, very doable, very possible. Make your penalty kicks, by the way.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
fair. I
think
mean,
we
they
should
showed the
get going
stat. Like
long.
he's 4 out of 8 penalty kicks in the World Cup.
Yeah, I saw some guy on YouTube saying that Messi has taken 9 penalty kicks. It's because he's been inside of 6 World Cups. He's
Right.
getting. I don't think that that's very much a valid argument when he just had to take like 2 in one, 2 in another one, and then just 1 throughout the rest, and like
Yeah.
2 more. It's just people get penalties when you move on from other rounds.
Right. It's just inevitable. And frankly, like there's nobody I want on the spot taking that penalty kick than Messi. So 4 out of 8 means nothing to me.
Yeah.
Put him on the spot. Let him shoot the next one. I wish you guys the best in your France hopefulness, David, in your Argentina fantasies, although they keep defying the odds.
Yeah.
But I think it is becoming more and more clear that we will have a Andalusian champion going into the next World Cup. And if that's not Spain, it will be Morocco.
I do hope that if it's not Argentina, it's Morocco, because I want someone new to win. Either Morocco or Norway, because then all of Norway will just be doing the row thing the entire time. And that's just going to be so fun to watch. Just like the next 5 weeks, every single meme and every single Norwegian thing ever happening will include the row.
I think they have enough momentum with the row. If they win the whole thing, they literally might row for 4 straight years. It might not get old. They'll just keep doing it.
Yeah,
It'll
no,
be
it's
great.
going to become the new wave. It's going to become the new wave.
That's great. Okay. Any final thoughts? Obviously, we'll circle back a week from now after the quarterfinals. But any magical insights that anybody has at this moment in time?
Uh, I think that this is a bit of an older take that I said earlier. This is I think this is the best Golden Boot race we've had, at least in the last 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Just so many goals happening, and yes, there's an extra round, but it's a bit because of that, but like still, Messi has scored 9 goals in 5 games. That is less than there is on the road to the finals. It is insane what has been happening with these players and how much the stars have really like shined. Like everyone that like people were expecting to have a good tournament have had a good tournament, and some people who didn't, and some guys who weren't expected to have a good tournament, which is Messi somehow. Even though I don't know how people are still doubting him, but the little annoying can't die magic man, I think stays alive this round. He doesn't though. So yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. I think that the France Morocco game, I think that's the most 50-50 game for me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. David, any magical insights?
Just one thing that's interesting tonight, we saw your alma mater soccer club perform at the Maryland Soccerplex Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Many a soccer game has been played on that turf in Germantown. DC United used to play all their Open Cup games there. Washington Spirit used to play all their games there. So it was cool. We saw my friend Chris Marcantonio's son, Jack Marcantonio, played all 90 minutes at center back and had an assist tonight in their 3-2 win. So I don't know. It's just a good way to spend the day that there's no World Cup, but we were supporting some local soccer, which helped you gave you a lot of skills through the years. So it was a pretty cool experience.
That's great. I love that. I mean, it's tough. I will say that it is tough going this many days of just continuous soccer and then not having soccer for 24 hours is really hard. I didn't really know what to do today, but we're almost to the end of today. We'll be back on tomorrow. That is good stuff for all of us. I do want to point out what I think we saw some great efforts in the round of 16, the round of 32 of team defending Not just in terms of like, let's pack it in, but I mean like multiple players within a region and a section of the field that are working together to win the ball back. We didn't see that with teams like Ghana and Brazil. We saw like individual efforts trying to win a ball back. And then if that guy gets beat, then the next guy comes to try to win the ball. That's not going to get it done at this level. And we're seeing that. Cape Verde showed us that really well. Morocco shows us that really well. Switzerland shows that really well. England shows that really well. So I think whoever shows that best in these next round, barring, another Messi miracle, which is just unstoppable, that will be the difference, I think, to get teams through to the semifinals.
Well, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yep.
We're going to find out.
Back to back to back. Yeah, we'll pick up next time and see who was right and who was Spitzberg. See you guys soon.
Yeah.
All right, Daniel.
Morocco
See ya.
fans.
Love you guys. See ya.
Mama.
Bye.
Bye.